I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. It's strange how we only realize the value of something once it's no longer in our reach. I think that's one of the hardest lessons love teaches us. We get caught up in the rush of life, in the little things that don't seem important at the time. And then one day, we wake up and realize that the thing we took for granted is gone. I remember the first time I met him. It was one of those days that felt like nothing special at all. I wasn't looking for love. I wasn't even thinking about it. I had just finished a long day at work, the kind that leaves you drained and craving solitude. I had stopped by a coffee shop on the way home, just to pick up something warm and forget about the world for a moment. And then, there he was, standing in line, his head slightly tilted as he stared at the menu above the counter. I noticed the way his fingers tapped against his coffee cup, the way he seemed lost in thought. He wasn't trying to stand out, but there was something magnetic about him. I didn't talk to him at first. In fact, I didn't even think about it. He was just another face in the crowd. But as I stood there, waiting for my drink, I couldn't help but notice how calm he seemed in a world that felt so loud. It wasn't long before we exchanged a few words. Just about the weather, the coffee, the usual. But something about the way he spoke, the way he listened, made it feel different. It felt real, not forced. And I felt comfortable. That was the start. And looking back now, I can see how easy it all was. How we just slipped into each other's lives without much effort. We spent hours talking, sometimes about nothing at all. We found ourselves in the same coffee shop every week, and the conversations grew deeper, more meaningful. There were no grand declarations, no dramatic moments. Just two people who enjoyed each other's company, who found something easy in each other's presence. But somehow, I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. I didn't see how much he had become a part of my routine, my life, my heart. I didn't realize how important those simple moments with him were, the way we'd laugh over silly things, the way he always knew how to make me feel at ease. It wasn't until the day he stopped coming to the coffee shop that I truly understood. He didn't say goodbye, he just stopped showing up. I remember thinking it was just a phase, a temporary absence. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he had other things going on. I convinced myself it was nothing, that it didn't matter. But it did matter. It mattered more than I realized. I started to miss the small things, the way he made me feel heard, the way we shared jokes and stories. I started to feel the empty space where his presence used to be. It wasn't just the coffee shop I missed. It was him. The person who had made me feel special, who had made me laugh when I needed it most, who had been there without asking for anything in return. I reached out to him, hoping to fill that emptiness. But when he answered, it wasn't the same. There was a distance in his voice, a coldness that hadn't been there before. And when we met up, it felt like I was sitting across from a stranger, not the person I had spent so many hours talking to. The easy comfort we once shared was gone, replaced by awkward silences and forced smiles. I didn't realize what I had until it was too late, until the person I had taken for granted had moved on, had found something else that didn't require him to stay in that empty space for me. I thought we would always be there for each other, that things would just fall into place like they always had, but life doesn't work like that. Sometimes you have to fight for what you want. Sometimes you have to show up, even when it's hard. And sometimes it's not until you lose something that you realize how much it meant to you. I tried to convince myself that it wasn't a big deal, that I would move on, that I'd find something just as good. But it never felt the same. There were other relationships, other people, but none of them felt as easy as it had with him. None of them made me feel as understood, as safe. And so, I learned that lesson, the one that comes with so much regret. The one that teaches you that love isn't just about being there when it's convenient to. It's about showing up, even when you don't think you need to. It's about noticing the little things, the quiet gestures, the moments that seem insignificant at the time, but are everything in the end. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. And now, I can only hold on to the memory of what it felt like to have him there. And remember that sometimes, love isn't just about finding someone. It's about appreciating them while they're with you. I am Lucy, and this is Unsaid Love.